Hello lovely people, the Traka200 is a 200-kilometre gravel race based in Girona, and as you may or may not know, Girona is known for its epic gravel roads, and it's also a local race for me. So in this video I'm taking you through my Traka200 experience. On the morning of Traka200, I actually woke up like really not feeling great, I'm gonna be honest. I am not a morning person, so getting ready for a 7 a.m. start, I think we were up like 5:30. It was just an abrupt start, let's just put it that way. So 7 a.m. start, the mist is coming up, it was really beautiful. And anyway, we're underway, heading into the first climb that comes at 10k in. So basically all pacing went out the window at this point because everyone kind of knew that this first climb is where you're going to kind of make or break your positioning. And going into the middle section of the race, so the first 50k was all about getting your position, and then kind of 50k to 100 and something k, 130k was pretty much flat. So if you could get in a good group, you're gonna roll along so much faster than if you're on your own. So this was kind of my plan. I knew I could pace it okay up the hill and then descend really well. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, looking back, I started too hard, but in my mind, I was pacing it really well, but I think you do just get carried away in the kind of race moments. So anyway, we do this first climb, I'm in an okay group, and coming down the descent, I don't even know what happened to me. It's like I found another level of my brain that just, I don't even know. I just was passing people like so fast, and I've never even like really jumped a bike. I jumped a bike, like there's this one section which I show you in the GoPro where I just come on the right hand side. I was just full of adrenaline, like definitely not a good idea when you're literally like 15k into a 200-kilometre race. I managed to get myself in a fairly decent group, but basically my bike was quite full of mud at this point. Up one of the kind of short kicky climbs, I went to change gear and my chain came off. So what that meant is that I lost the group going into feed stop number 1. By the time I got there, I saw Jaume who was filming, and yeah, I think I was on my own, maybe with one other lady, and yeah, I was already in like full race mode, just survival.
How are you feeling, Keira?
Alright, I had a bit of a mechanical, so we lost the group, but doing okay.
Great.
I think we're on to about 7-8 hour finish time at the minute, so
nice.
Let's keep going.
I think for me, the hardest thing about doing a 200k gravel race, which was something completely new for me, I come from like a road racing background, so the longest race I've ever done is like 140k, but on the road, obviously that's a lot less aggressive and it's a lot shorter amount of time than it is on gravel. Yeah, I just didn't pace it right, and I also didn't consider how much difference those food stops would make. For example, there's a few times where I came into food stops and like I hadn't got like my snacks that I prepared there, which they had food stations with water and snacks there, but I think when you're doing something like that, you just like crave like specific things randomly. So like not always being able to get like the energy drink I wanted or like the food or the bar that I wanted. So yeah, from that point I was on my own or was in smaller groups. And then I actually, through one of the feed zones, I just skipped the feed zone because I saw a group going, and I just was like, I need to be with people, because I noticed like the difference in speed was going from like, I don't know, 27 kilometers an hour on my own to like 32 kilometers an hour with a group. So it was like a massive difference. And also you're saving energy compared to just riding on your own. So I missed a food stop about, I can't remember exactly what kilometer it was in now, but I definitely paid for this later on, missing that food stop. Maybe I just went out too hard also. Like, it's not necessarily the food, but I think when you have to race for 8 hours, you can't really go into the red, and I definitely did go into the red, possibly on like the climbs early on. So coming into, I'd say probably about 130k, I hit a massive wall, because I think maybe 120k in there was like a really long climb, and I definitely went into the red, definitely, just to try and keep up with the people I was with. So that definitely impacted like how it went on.
I've just hit 6 hours of riding, 140k. I'm fully in the box. 60k left. Oh mate, my legs have just got nothing. I'm just sort of turning them. I reconned the last bit of the route, so I'm hoping once I can start sensing home, I'll kind of perk up, but yeah, absolute shell.
And then yeah, rolling into the last food stop of the day, around 50k to go, I was completely cracked. I'd definitely gone too hard at this climb before, and I was just fully in survival mode. But the saving grace for me was that I did actually know the last 50k of the route, because I'd done it a couple of times previously out training. So mentally, the last 50k became easier. But I think for the majority of the race, overall, I was on my own or with another person. So I'm actually really proud of myself for, one, the speed that I did. I averaged like 23 kilometers an hour, which over this parkour, I think like I was really happy with that. And I just know that there's more there. Like, I didn't feel great. I didn't like prepare in the best way. Like, I maybe had a few unlucky incidents, missing a group. Also just the gravel element, you know, like for me, it was like my back, like everything was aching. So I've never gone that deep before. But it was a really weird effort racing that long, because you never feel like you're going full gas, but it just all hits you like at once. It was quite a strange phenomenon, especially for me. I'm so used to like having to stop because of like a lactate or a burning or a, you know, like you just done like a massive anaerobic-esque effort and then you can't go with the group, so that's why you don't do as well in the race. Whereas with something like this, it was just a war of attrition. You know, you're just getting slowly worn down, you're slowly just becoming like empty, and that was something really interesting. And I definitely went through waves of like, I'm totally fine, and then, oh no, I'm not fine, I want to stop. I definitely contemplated stopping like for a good 30k. I really was like, if I see How May and like my mates who are here supporting me, they can just take me. So luckily I didn't see them in that moment. I then, once I could smell the finish again, I sort of like perked up. In the end, I finished in 8 hours, 44 minutes and 50 seconds, which landed me in 8th place in the women's event. Looking back on the event, I put myself in the right place to be in contention for the podium, but in reality, I was riding well above my actual limit just to see if I could do it. I'm genuinely so proud of myself. I learned so much about myself, this kind of racing, and what I need to do in order to get better at gravel racing. I also found it super cool to be smashing along the gravel with some serious hitter women, all of whom eventually dropped me, but still, it was really a great feeling to be back amongst some racing. It has been a very long time for me, so personally I overcame a lot of hurdles mentally and physically to end up starting, never mind even finishing the Traka200. But yeah, epic experience. I don't know, I did enjoy it, but to me it was like, it wasn't type 2 fun, it was like type 3 fun. So I mean, I'm recording this now a couple of weeks after Traka, and I'm looking back and now I'm like, oh, it was so good, like the experience was amazing. But the reason I say type 3 fun is because it takes a really long time for it to be fun. So for me, looking at this kind of race, I'm like, I don't know if I actually enjoy super endurance races. This 200k race, I think, is probably one of the longest things I will end up doing, just because I don't think it naturally suits me. or at least the mental, physical part of it, I've not really worked out. But then again, maybe I would enjoy it more if I paced it better. So for now, all I'm doing is putting all my energy into training and preparing for my next gravel race, which is going to be the Wish1 gravel race in France. My plan is to do as many of the kind of European World Cup gravel races that I can. And I'm just really excited to be bringing them all to you on this channel. I also want to say a big thank you to Classmark, all my friends who came and supported me at the race, How May, who helped me film this video. And yeah, just thank you so much to everyone who follows along and supports. If you want to support, you can check out my Patreon. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe for more cycling content, and as always, keep risking it for a biscuit. I'll see you in the next one. Whoop.